I tell you, the girls can be defiant little creeps. I'm playing ping pong, and one of the balls goes underneath the table over there in the green room, and I say to Marie, get it. She goes, I'm not getting it. It's your job. What else do you do, Marie?
Get your own balls.
No, listen. Dan was right. Marie doesn't do any work. Right, Dan? Is that your assessment?
Is she a
Liz
slacker?
does all the work.
Yeah, I know. I say, Marie, can you guys? She goes, I'm not getting it. Oh, they're such rich little spoiled brats. How dare they?
Slackers.
They're starting to get a bit of a tan. When they get
I
a
can
tan,
teach
they get
them. You know, I used to be a slave, so I can teach them how to do hard work.
In Mandinka talk,
Yes.
that means river.
What's your name, boy? Toby.
There was a great stand-up comedian named Charlie Barnett. Well, I think his last name was Barnett. Black guy. He was a crackhead. He died of AIDS. But Chappelle, for years, Chappelle had a script called King of the Park based on his life. And he used to call them crack sets. He would do stand-up in Washington Square Park. And he would make $5. When he made $5, he would stop and buy crack. But the guy was a brilliant comic. And he did one showtime at the Apollo. He was only on TV a couple of times, but comedians know him. And he used to have a joke. He used to say, like, goes, man, that Kunta Kinte was tough. Way tougher than me, man. He comes over here, and the slave owner says, what's your name? And the guy goes, Kunta Kinte. No, it's Toby. Whap.
Yep.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, Kunta Kinte. No, it's Toby. Whap. What's your name? He goes, Kunta Kinte. No, it's Toby. I'm like, damn, it took like an hour. He goes, that guy would have hit me one time. Like, what's your name? Whap. Toby, Boby, banana. He was great, but
exactly.
Yeah, tough. But the girls have none of that mentality. They have none of that
tough.
work ethic, and we pay them. We overpay them.
Wow.
I'm not getting it.
They told me about that Roach Motel you put them in outside of Norway.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Supposedly, now that we're back, I guess we could talk about this. The girls were put in a hotel in New Orleans. There were no locks on the door. And they both had separate rooms, but they slept in the same room to protect each other because they were afraid.
You had them out there with the swamp people.
Lake Pontchartrain. Lake Pontchartrain. They were down on Lake Pontchartrain. Now,
we have Lake Pontchartrain.
We have in our possession.
What?
Now, Brent, why did you give this to us?
Okay. Look.
What happened? You auditioned for Survivor years ago,
Really?
and you were shirtless, running around auditioning. And
I was, yeah.
Well, you used to be like a cross-country champion, right?
I was, and I was right out of college. This was 12 years ago. I was 24. My first job in TV was at a local NBC affiliate in Topeka, Kansas.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I got to make it. I got to do something to get on the map.
You got to get
bit.
famous. You got to make your mark.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? I loved watching Survivor. And this was early on. This was like 1 or 2 seasons in. And I was like, you know what? That would be perfect for me. And I'm going to have the best video because people send in these home videos to get on. And I had in my possession, like nice camera equipment stuff. So one morning before work, cameraman and I went out. I paid him a little bit of money. And he shot it like really net. We went out to this little park where
he paid him money and he said, "Take your shirt off." How much for your pants?
So yeah, that was the story, and then I edited it together, thinking, "Oh my God, this thing is." Back then I had it in my mind, this is so perfect. I'm gonna get on it.
Right.
Did not even get a call back. And what I did get was this 12 years later.
Wow, what's up with that haircut?
Yeah, you look like. Who do you look like? You look like. Now, what is the audio here? Like Brent Stover.
Look at those abs! Ooh, he washing himself.
I'll never forget the
river.
cameraman saying, "Hey, just splash a little water up on your abs," and me thinking it was a good idea.
Did the cameraman say, "Show got a pretty mouth on him"?
This is like the end of Fame. Trey Jolie, Brent.
Look at
Trey Jolie.
Yeah, like
What are you, Tarzan?
Yeah,
Look at
where's this in Kansas?
Artie, the audio is him saying, I train my body and my mind to go through this. But he's just actually taking a casual stroll like a 6-year-old would, like out in the woods.
You trained your body and your mind. I mean, who couldn't do that?
One of the lines was, "I am afraid of nothing."
You know what you look like? You look like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, the positive thinking guy. He makes, when you go away to one of his camps, my buddy went. At 5 a.m.
He makes you take your shirt off?
Well, at 5 a.m. you wake up and you run naked amongst the deer.
Really?
And the goal is after a month you start to like defecate with the deer. You become like the deer.
The deer letting you do that?
Yeah, that's
They
the
don't
thing.
poke you in the ass with one of those antlers?
You force yourself on the deer. And then I guess you
sure this wasn't Catholic camp?
Christian camps. There's a lot of that going on. But so that really, I mean, that was impressive, Brent.
No, I don't. I mean, luckily that wasn't the full thing.
It wasn't impressive. They didn't even call him back.
I know.
He didn't get a call back.
Nothing.
You got to
That
see.
would've
You
been
got to see.
impressive.
You got to see my shirtless tape.
Oh no! Oh no!
My
Was it
Boschetti.
like the
Boschetti, did you ever
Porky's?
Boschetti, did you ever make a shirtless tape to get on them?
Yeah, I have. Well, I've done shirtless stuff on the net. You know.
What?
Oh!
Yeah.
What have you done?
We did a movie called Super Twink. I remember that.
Oh,
Super what?
That one
Yeah,
you did
yeah.
with Sal?
Yeah, I was
Super twink?
Super
shirtless.
twink.
I played a bartender in a gay bar.
You know, did you have your shirt off?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm in that. You know.
I had, oh yeah, we had a scene together. It was
But
great.
I had my shirt on.
I know. I had tassel clamps by my, you know.
Yeah. Were they?
Yeah.
Were they? Did that turn you on at all the time?
No, I was scared crap. I wanted to get out of there. It was like a bad porn theater. We shot it in. It was horrible.
That's
Wait,
creepy.
you had clamps on your
Yeah, you did.
your
Yeah.
areolas?
They pasted them on there, Brian. It hurt
I
like
remember.
heck.
I remember
Oh,
this.
wow.
I remember this. It was brutal. It was brutal. So now, give us a prediction here, Bri.
Yes.
Based on the free agency, based on, it's a bad draft this year too. Isn't
No,
it?
it's not a bad draft. Well, you don't have that one guy. You don't have a Jadeveon Clowney. Just that one guy's just jumping off the board.
Who's that?
But it's a deep.
By the way, I'm
Jadeveon
kidding, of
Clowney,
course.
South Carolina.
Could there be a better name for a sports guy?
Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney. That guy's got to make it. That guy's got to.
Oh, he
make
will.
It. Yeah,
He's a bad
so,
man.
but there's no one guy.
There's not that one elite guy jumping
Because the
off the
Heisman
board.
Trophy winner was a freshman, and he's not a
Right.
guy.
But
I
still,
bet he has not
listen,
a good NFL
This is
career.
a deep draft. You got a ton of defensive linemen. You got offensive linemen. You've got wide receivers out the yang.
Yeah.
This is going to be a deep, talented draft. You just don't have that one marquee guy that everyone's talking about. So I don't think anyone will move up to that number one position where Kansas City is now, because I know they'd love to trade that, get more draft picks, but I don't see anyone moving up to get that one marquee elite guy.
What do you do? Me and Brent were talking about his Chiefs. What about Alex Smith? Is there anything? I don't think.
I like what the Chiefs have done as well. Yeah, going to get a proven quarterback, Alex Smith, and they've made some trades. Got Sean Smith from the Dolphins to play cornerback. They traded.
Oh, did they get Sean Smith? That guy, I'll tell you, I watched Hard Knocks. That guy was impressive. Sean Smith, the guy, the Dolphin cornerback. Yeah. That guy was impressive the way he just shut Ocho Cinco down in those practices. Like, Ocho Cinco couldn't get around him.
Yeah.
So he's good. He's a real talented guy.
Yeah, Andy Reid, they're doing some good stuff there. And you look at I think it's going to be an interesting draft. I think you can get you can address a ton of issues on your team. You like Buffalo, they let Fitzpatrick go. I saw one quote where a former coach there said he's about average or below average. And this is your starting quarterback.
$59 million.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's average for
Right, yeah. He's
$59
average.
million bucks. Oh, my God.
And now they pay him to go away.
Yeah.
Call me
And now
average.
they get like Jarius Jackson. It's like they're not Jarius Jackson.
Tavares Jackson.
Tavares Jackson.
But
is
I
the
think they
quarterback.
draft a quarterback, and they may draft two quarterbacks. Who knows?
Yeah, but my issue is there's no quarterbacks in the draft that are worth a dang. And maybe one or two. Maybe Geno Smith's going to be all right. Over the back half of the season, though, if I'm a scout, I'm looking at him saying,
Listen, I like Geno Smith.
What about Nassib from Syracuse?
Barkley, we'll see how his elbow, how that shapes out. I'm sorry, his shoulder. I like Tyler Bray and I like Tyler Wilson. Wilson from Arkansas, prototypical quarterbacks. They're big and tall. Tyler Bray's got swagger like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
He's got some off-the-field issues, but still, big arms. These guys can make all the throws. Nassib, you mentioned at Syracuse. Is he a first rounder? No, he's not. He's second, third round, and he'd be tickled pink if he goes in the second round, but he has a history with the new Bills coach, Doug Marrone. That's who he played for at Syracuse.